Hey guys, good evening. Once again, welcome to our Monday night sales training. Mario Delgadillo here out of Dallas, Texas. And we are pretty excited to have a special guest on this evening. As most of you know, guys, we have been building business in the advanced market space for a long time. What are advanced markets? IULs and annuities. We help people prepare and prep for retirement. But as we've brought in people on, we have realized that new people, right, that are still building their skill set, still building their confidence, right, sharpening the axe, and maybe they just don't have the same amount of bandwidth from a financial perspective to go all in on these advanced markets. They really need to kind of, it's the reason why when you go to high school, you don't jump to varsity, right? You've got to go to freshman and, in JV, and then you get promoted to varsity, right? And so we have continued to see the need to have, number one, a very, very good, reputable, proven lead vendor for final expense as well as for mortgage protection, which is term. But then when we wanted to get out there, what we wanted to do was make sure that the actual ROI, the investment, was worth right doing it. Now, I am going to say I'm going to kind of preface for Mike here. Okay, good leads are not cheap, and cheap leads are not good. So let's make sure we get the cat out of the bag right now. We're not here to sell crap. As you guys know, just from my own philosophy and my own lifestyle, right? I pay for quality everywhere in my life, and I do it especially in my business. But at the same time, we also want to make sure that it's something that's reasonable for somebody in their phase and their journey in their business. So without further ado, I'm actually going to hold on one sec. I'm going to spotlight myself real quick, and then I'm going to actually do a co-spotlight um, with Mike. And so Mike Randall is one of the lead sales folks over with UNRL. I believe he actually is like a VP of some sort with their group. And great guy. Had a good conversation with him the other day, and I was very, very encouraged about his programs. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring on Mike to go over his programs. We're going to talk about two specific programs this evening. And then, guys, obviously ask as many questions as possible because I really believe this is going to be a really good thing for some of you guys. And it's going to be a very, very good thing, especially for our new people that we're hiring. And just tomorrow, I've got 4 interviews, right? And those folks, this is exactly where we're going to put them. So, Mike, appreciate you jumping on. I know it's pretty late where you are. So I'm going to shut up and give you the mic, sir.
Appreciate it, Mario. Thanks for the invite. Nice to meet everyone. Hi, Maritza. Nice to see you.
My guy.
I appreciate the time. Try to make it as short and sweet as I can, but enough information to, generate some questions, some answers maybe at the end for you. But when it all comes down to, lead sources and programs for, insurance agents, I'm an insurance agent, but I'm in Ontario, Canada. Works a little bit differently up here. But at the end of the day, our company, UNRL Media, has been around for just over 7 years, providing leads on 2 different programs like we talked about. Specifically for us, what makes us different from other lead vendors is we own about 15 to 16,000 landing pages on Google. So when someone goes on to Google, types in final expense, chances are in the search criteria, many pages on Google, it'll come up with one of our landing pages. Someone will click on there and they'll be directed through to the landing page to fill out their name, email, phone number, address, zip code, at which time, they'll be prompted to select, yes, I'd like to talk to someone from your call center. We're FCC, TCP compliant. We went through that at the beginning of the year last year, just as far as the do not call list and reaching out to people. But with those people specifically clicking on submit, yes, I'd like to hear from the call center. Our call centers are in Tampa and Salt Lake City. We're setting one up in Ontario, Canada right now. But what'll happen is the call center directly calls out to those people, connects with them. They're going to verify them on the financial, medical, and health side. So they're going to ask them questions like, do you own your own home? Do you make more than $3,000 a month? Have you ever been diagnosed with heart attack, stroke, cancer, lung disease? They're also going to ask them, do you have a valid bank account at an actual financial institution? Do you currently have any insurance coverage? If so, what is it? And then also on the backside of that, they're going to make sure they're not on disability, which is a big pain point too. If they do answer yes, they are on disability, but they did answer yes, they make more than $3,000 a month, they will be transferred through. So the call center's next step is to, ask them if we could find an agent in your state to talk to you about the 2024 insurance programs. Would you be interested in being transferred to them right away? And at that time, literally the call center would say, hey, Mario, I got Joe on the line. He's been pre-screened for the health, medical, finance. I'd like to put him through to talk to you. He doesn't have any insurance, or yes, he does, but he's looking to increase it. He makes more than $3,000 a month, and all the questions that were asked. And then literally the call center will exit the call after the introduction to the insurance agent. So once that takes place, it's up to you guys to, do what you have to do. With our programs, there is some training that is involved with everything. The one is the live transfers, just like we talked about. Right now, the live transfers are sold off in packages of 10, 15, 25, and unlimited for the week. The unlimited live transfers is $1,500 for the week. It's the same cost as me, selling off 25. So what I recommend is to go unlimited, where you can cut your ad spend down from $60 per transfer to technically 30, just by taking, 40 to 50 calls versus, only taking, 25 or, 15 or even a block of 10. Now, what I would recommend, for agents who aren't as experienced is we have an endless outbound program as well. So in addition to the live transfers, it's endless outbound. And these are the people that have been pre-screened by the call center, but they didn't want to be pushed through to an agent right away because whether they're busy, I have to go pick up the kids, something's come up, or I just don't want to at this time, they go into our endless outbound calling program. So the way that works is there's a CRM built in, there's a power dialer, and it's literally dialing out to 8 to 10 people at a time. And once it's connected with someone, it's transferred through to you. So those are a little bit more of a, difficult conversation at times because you will get people that hang up, you will get answering machines, but it's really about perfecting your scripting, and just really being able to walk those customers potentially through the whole process. So yeah, those are the two programs. The $650 is for the endless outbound, so $650 a week. That is from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The endless outbound is from Monday to Sunday from 9 a.m. Till about 8 p.m., depending what time zone. So literally 7 days a week, you could be using the endless outbound program. The live transfers will be, that's the Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So those are the difference in the two programs. We typically like to see that for any one of these programs that you're licensed in about 10 states. I do have agents that have 3, 4, 5. I also have agents that said, hey, Mike, I'm not in 10 right now, but let's add the certain states to the program so that when someone does actually connect through and I do go to write a piece of business, that I can contact the state to get licensed there, and then literally write the business. So it's not necessary that everyone commits to having 10 states or so, but if you have 3 or 4 or 5 right now, that's great. And then just say, hey, I want another 5 states, and here's the ones I was thinking of jumping into, so that on the back side, we can fill in the states that you're getting calls from. So they're specifically the ones that you're either going to get licensed in or you are licensed in. Questions, concerns about anything?
Mike, I have a question. The hours that you set for the live transfers, are those Central, Eastern,
Yeah, so
Pacific.
based on your time zone, right? So whatever time zone, like for instance, if you're on the West Coast and you're taking calls on the East Coast, or you're on the East Coast and you're taking calls on the West Coast.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. And maybe I'll just go over like acquisition of calls, the return on investment. So typically what we're seeing in the final expense space is about $90 average a month, which is about 1,100 annually. And the closing ratio for our company is just about that 30% mark. So of every 10 calls, we're looking at closing rates about 3. And then, like I said, with the average AP of $90 per call and 1,100 per week, you would see around 3.5 to 7,000 in that endless outbound program. And then the live transfers is about 7,000 to 15,000 per week on the unlimited plan. And I guess specifically around the carrier side of things, like we're seeing like the voice signatures, text confirmation, and electronic applications as well. And some of the ones that we're more familiar with, or the most familiar, is the American Amicable, Prosperity, AIG, Mutual of Omaha. But anything with a voice signature or e-sign or text sign would be fine. And the top converting states from the numbers we have from last year are Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Michigan, Virginia, and Iowa. So it's not necessary you have to be in those states. They are the top converting ones, but we're telling that to everyone. So if you have states that are not on that list, by all means, like I think they're going to be still, profitable, and you're going to be getting lots of calls from them anyway. So.
Yeah, and I have that list as well, guys. I have all of this. Mike was good enough to send it in an email. So I've got all of this written out for you, and I'll send that to you. But before I jump in, because I do have some things that I want to talk about, any other questions while we've got Mike on the line, guys? Very important you get everything like asked now.
I put it in chat, but I was going to see if we touched on the pricing for the unlimited outbound leads.
Yep. Yeah, so the unlimited outbound is $650 for the week, and that's Monday to Sunday. And you can literally be in that outbound program, the dialer, for like 15, 16 hours a day. If you wanted to. Not saying you had to.
And I apologize, but what are we going to do to get started? So I'm highly interested in doing this. What steps would I need to take in order to do it?
Yeah, so next steps is we just basically set up a one-on-one call or virtual meeting. I walk you through same thing like we talked about tonight, if there's any questions, concerns. And then next steps is just basically setting up everything for you specifically.
Thank you.
I'll put my contact info in the chat just so you guys have it.
And I'll also put that out as well, guys, because I have all his information. So a couple of things real quick. So he talked about the most important thing that you guys can do, or not most important, but most of the folks that are having a lot of success, they have 10 states, right? And so what that means for some of you guys that are a little newer is when you get licensed, you have your permanent, like your resident state, right? So a lot of you guys are in California, a lot of you guys are in Texas. That's your home state. But with literally just filling out an application online and paying a small fee, some are like $80, some are 100, some are 200. You can go to each state and get a non-resident license there. Now, if you were to get 10 different states, like right out of the gate, that can get pretty expensive right away. So what we do, and I know that they teach this as well, is typically what you do is you actually get these states as you need them. Okay, so for instance, he talked about Ohio, Pennsylvania, North and South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Michigan, and Iowa, right? So let's say you're like, Mario, I've got Arizona, California, and Texas right now, but I want to do this. Let's go ahead and turn on Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina. Those are 4 more. So that would give me 7 total, right? That means you're going to get these leads. And as you go through them, okay, you can actually do an application with somebody and kind of almost not submit it, right? And then what happens is, okay, we can talk about a very skilled way to do this. But what happens is, so let's say I actually get an application from Ohio. I mean, you literally just go right then and there to NIPR and put in your app and pay the fee right there. Usually within 24 hours, you'll have the license. So at that point, it makes sense for you to buy Ohio because now you have business that you're going to be writing, right? And now you let them know, hey guys, I just got Ohio. And so that's actually how I came to be where I have 28 different states, right? I don't have 50 because there's no reason for it, but I have 28 because over the course of the last 3 years or so, as business would present itself, then I got the license. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions on that? No? Okay.
Can you connect us with whatever site we need to have on hand in those scenarios?
Yeah, it's NIPR. There might be another one as well, but either way, Zoma can help you with that. And once you do it once, you'll know exactly how to do it. It's super simple. But yeah, we can definitely get that for you. Any other questions? Because I have one more question that I have for Mike, and then I'm gonna let him go because it's already late for him. It's 9:30 for him. Any other questions, guys?
I just have one, Mario. So just to rerun that process in my head, the way that you became licensed in so many states is based off of the need in the moment. So in this particular circumstance, if we set up this lead system for ourselves and then we decide that we want to add like a couple more additional states, then we just kind of play it by ear, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so what happens is you're going to tell them, right? I'm licensed in these 3 states now, but he just gave you a list of the hottest states. And as I'm looking at this, pretty much none of you are licensed in any of these hot button states. So the idea would be, hey, put me on for the 3 that I have, but add another 4 or 5, right? Now, 4 or 5, you don't have those state license or non-resident licenses yet, but now you're going to start getting leads from those states. And as you actually get a business, like get business locked in and you get a client, you get an application, then you just immediately jump on an NIPR and buy it. Because we just don't want you to buy them for the sake of buying them because that could get really pricey. But you do want to buy them when you have the business. So what'll happen is, you buy, the leads, maybe you close 1 from Pennsylvania, 1 from Ohio, now you're licensed in those 2 states, right? So now you have 5 states, the 3 you had and the 2 now. And so over time, you can start to add more and build more. And then bam, now you're where I'm at, 26 to 28 different states. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
And we can help you with that. Zuma and I can help you with that. So no problem. So I have one question for you, Mike. So a lot of times we have agents that the number one thing they want to use is social media, right? They want to say, oh, I'm going to just use Instagram. I'm going to use Facebook and I'm going to use this, right? And so they go down that avenue. And I've had agents, and we have agents right now that are considering going to a company that creates ads specific for them, right? And then drives ads and creates that. Now, I know that works, right? But what I do know from experience is finding somebody who's actually reputable and the conversions are there can be difficult because, I've been self-employed now for 15 years. And I can tell you off the top of my hand, just 10 people who were doing a social media agency and they're like online marketers and now they're gone. So what would your advice be to somebody who's considering this route versus going and like setting up online funnels and using social media and kind of hiring a team in to use their own social media handle?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I've been there too. I'm an insurance agent in Ontario, Canada, so I've actually reached out to those people that said they were specialists in SEO marketing, lead generation, funnels, all that kind of stuff. And I spent lots of money with not a lot of results and not a lot of quality. And I didn't want to have to be on top of it. So this is a good opportunity not to have to do that. And I think the cost too, right? Like if you're spending the money, you want to get some sort of, a really good ROI out of it. Whereas I knew like even the leads I did get from those programs, it wasn't good and the quality wasn't there. So I think that's where we're different. And, specifically, this is what the company is doing. And it takes a little bit like less off of your stress and your shoulders to have to really go out and manage that yourself. So you can be
Yeah, it's
focused
just
on
a little
selling.
more plug and play from
Yeah.
what I can see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think
Cool.
like the really good point, I will just like add one other thing, is just having the endless outbound. There's the whole scripting and the training, and then every Tuesday and Thursday evening from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's a live webinar with some of our coaches and trainers, the best in the industry. Like they've signed an NDA, so they're not recruiting advisors or anything, but they're there just to help. And they go through like literally calls with people. They help with the scripting. They help with which carriers should you be writing with, in addition to obviously you and Maritza. But who should they be writing with? Where are they, spending their time scripting, focusing on the carriers, and then also the objection handling, which is pretty huge in this business too. So it is all included. There's no extra cost for that. A lot of agents, like they said, hey, I want to start with the endless outbound, just to work on my scripting, perfect that, talk to people. And then the next step for them is, hey, I'm going to add 10 live transfers just to try them out. I know the best bang for your buck is definitely like the live transfers, but it also, you have to be in that position to be a good closer and writing the good business, because you don't want to waste those opportunities. So we found that the endless outbound, there's nothing wrong with starting with that and maybe adding live transfers at the time, or just adding it down the road, or switching altogether from endless outbound to live transfers only. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we, besides the, the term, the final expense, the whole life, we do have the IUL and the annuity leads, specifically at a different level. Those are $95 per lead, and we ask that people are buying them in bulk of 25 at a time. And I know we can do something as far as the pricing, the more that someone was looking to purchase. And I know with our programs too, because I did send over the email to Mario that, some of the costs are going to be going up. They were supposed to be active as officially as of today, but it looks like they're pushing them off a week. So if there was an opportunity, it would probably be this week. We're not saying that the pricing will be changing that much, but they'll be looking for contracts for longer periods of time now. Before they were just doing week to week, but things are evolving and the company is changing, and the lead sources are great. So just to let you know about the pricing side of things.
Awesome. Well, guys, one final time, if any questions for Mike, otherwise I'm going to let him get off after, just because he's already late, and we'll spend a couple more minutes just going over a couple of things. Any other questions for Mike, guys?
I do. Mike, who do I contact to add additional states?
Yeah, so like right on the in the Discord, you could send a message into the ops team, or even better, a support ticket right inside the CRM. Hey, I added these states. And as a follow-up to that, you can send it to me and I can forward it into the ops team on my end just to make sure it gets backfilled.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And then
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, my other question is, I was trying to find where that Tuesday, Thursday training was in the training system. I found like something, but that had like a monthly fee to it.
Oh, no, there's
Is
no
there
fee.
another one?
No, I'll send.
It was like
email
$100 one time and like $57 a month. So I don't know if there was something different outside of that.
No, I'll send you the link.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. The last thing I'll finish off on is just as far as processes go. So what we would do if anyone was signing up, we sign up today, take payment. There's about 2 to 3 hours of training, just with our videos and such, understanding the system, the CRM, everything that goes along with that. And then as far as next steps, once the training is all done, And this is specifically for the endless outbound. The training's completed. You book an onboarding call with one of our specialists. They answer questions, concerns that you have about the training courses, also the CRM and the power dialer. And then at that time, you decide, hey, I'd like to say, like today's, Monday, but like, let's just say you get that done in the next 2 days. It gives us 2 days to backfill all the states. And then you can say, hey, I want to start Monday next week, or I'm going to be away on vacation. Let's start the week after on the Monday. I want to go fresh that time. So that's the whole process beginning to end. And then once you're done the onboarding, you just let us know when you want to start, and away we go.
Awesome. All right, Mike, I appreciate you jumping on. Everybody hang out for about another 10 minutes. Mike, appreciate you so much. I anticipate that we're going to have a lot of folks that are going to be contacting you, not just from this group, but going on forward as well. So, Mike, have a great night, bud. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Nice to see you.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
Mike.
night. Appreciate the opportunity. See you later.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so real quick, let me just go ahead and give a quick rundown again. Okay, so the number one, not number one, but the first line here is that, so the endless outbound conversations. I want you to understand what it is. So you're going to basically be able to just log in, and you can log in for 13 hours a day. It's from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight, right? So the idea is that you log in to their CRM, and they also have a dialer, an auto dialer. And if you haven't used an auto dialer before, it's crazy. Like you're basically syncing your headsets with the auto dialer system, and it's just going, right? So let's say it's dialing the 8 states that they have. So how did they get these leads, right? Well, these are people that had gone online, requested information, and they get a call back from somebody in the States. As you guys heard, both of the call centers are in the States. Guys, that's huge. For some of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, some of these guys use their call centers and they're from like Bangladesh or Pakistan or India, and you can't understand what they're saying. I'm going to tell you, just from my own dealing, if I get a call and it's an Indian guy saying, how are you, Mario, whatever, I'm hanging up. I don't even want to deal with it because I just can't understand. I know they're from somewhere else and they're trying to sell me something, right? So when it's somebody who's here from the States, right then and there, the conversion rate goes up. Just that alone, okay? So they call these people and they qualify them. Like he said, they ask them if they have a bank account, right? They ask them if they have any health issues or medications. They qualify them, and then at that point they'd say, are you interested in talking to somebody in your local area right now? Okay, some of those people say yes, live transfer. Okay, that person, it's like, hey Chris, I've got Joseph on the line. He's out of Columbus, Ohio. Joseph, this is Chris out of Texas, and they drop and you take over. Okay, some of those folks say no, I don't have the time to get transferred right now. So they say, okay, thank you so much. That's now a qualified lead that goes into their query system. It goes into the database. So when you're logging in 6-7 hours a day or 3 or 4 hours a day, right? This auto dialer is just burning through these calls. Okay. And as soon as somebody says, hello, it's you. So you have to be ready, right? And it'll say, hello. And you'll, bam, it automatically pulls up their information. And you'll say, hi, can I speak to Isabel? And you're just going, right? So this is endless outbound conversations, $800 a week, okay? Or if you're willing to sign a contract with them, it's $650 a week if you're ready to go for 3 months. But let's break down the numbers, guys, okay? So the average AP, okay, is about 1,080. Okay, so that means that their average monthly payment is going to be $90 a month for final expense. Okay, so that means you're paying $90 a month times 12. It's 1,080. If you're making 100, okay, you just made $1,000. Okay. Now he said you're doing a 30% conversion. So if you got 10 leads in a week, you would close 3. That's $3,000 for 800 or 650. Okay. And then that starts rolling. The better you get, the more calls you take, right? Because let's say you put in more time. You put in 7, 8 hours a day, right? You're having 4 or 5 conversations a day. Okay. And now it's not a 30% conversion on 10. It's a 30% conversion on 20 calls or 30 calls, right? At $1,000 a pop. And then you just get paid and you reinvest. You get paid and you reinvest. He said, when I first spoke, he said the people that are doing endless outbound, on average, are doing $3,500 to $7,500 a week. Okay. So let's cut that in half. Let's say you do $5,000 a month, I mean a week. That's 20 grand a month. Guys, I'm telling you, Maritza will be my witness. You can run a ridiculous business just on this alone. Just on the, you make 20 grand a month just doing this. And what's cool about it, guys, you never have to drive to anybody's house, right? You don't have to do anything because you literally come in and you're like, boop, you log in, put your headsets on, and you just chill. You're not even outbound dialing. The auto dialer is doing it for you. And a lot of other products or vendors, they make you pay for your auto dial. Auto dialers are like 150 bucks a month. Okay. This is built in for free, which is really, really good thing. Okay. So that's one. The second is the live transfer. Okay. So live transfers are $1,800 a week, Monday through Friday. Okay, it's 9 to 6 p.m. That's the unlimited. Pay $1,800 a week, unlimited. So what are we doing? 18 times 4, you're looking at $7,200 a month. Okay. Now, or you can buy them $60 per transfer. Okay. And they do them in batches of 10, 15, or 25. So if you were to do $60 times 10, you're looking at $600. Now the average on the live transfer is a little bit higher because they're live. They said, yeah, I'll talk to somebody right now, right? So they're going to be a lot more quality, but he mentioned that people that are doing this are doing $7,000 to $15,000 a week in commissions. What he didn't mention, or maybe he did, I didn't catch it. The split is about 65% of these leads will be final expense, 35% will be a term or whole life. Okay. So that's the split. What I really love, and I'm just being transparent, you guys know what I'm, who I am and what I'm all about. I love annuities. I love IULs, right? I love infinite banking. So, but I also know that we have to get really good at this. So one of the things that I love is in the endless outbound, guys, there's resources galore. Okay. There's training, there's scripts, there's live coaching. Okay. Like, so you guys could literally plug into their system and just blow the thing out the doors. And then after a couple months, say, hey, Maura, I've saved up about 10, 15 grand on the side. I really want to go and buy some room leads now. That's the way to do it. That's the way to build your business, right? Why would you want to? Well, Priscilla's on the line. And in closing, I just want to give a quick shout out to her because she closed a $402,000 annuity today, which is going to get her a $25,000 commission. And then he mentions, hey, my partner wants to roll his in as well, which is another 270 or something like that. That's another 16,000. Just made $40,000 off of one client today. And that one lead was what, 115 bucks through Vroom, yeah. Right? But she's got another one. So she's got 3 clients coming through Vroom that are going to probably get her about 50 grand. Okay. So if we do 50 divided by 3, that's $16,600 a month over the first 90 days. Because it's taken her about 90 days. And how much in spend, Priscilla?
$10,000 in 3 months.
$10,000 over 90 days to get 50. So she's 40 grand to the positive. And then here's what I told her. Now You take that 40, 50 grand, pay down that credit card to zero, 40 grand sitting in the bank, and now it's off to the races, right?
Yep.
It's amazing, right? Because you can just keep it going for another 90 days and you'll just keep doing it, keep making it happen. We want to get there, but this is where you should start, okay? I think this is a phenomenal product. If I was brand new, this is exactly what I would do. Yes, there's a lot of different guys out there, but these guys are proven. And I'm going to toss it to Maritza because she actually vetted them and brought this to us. Maritza, what are your thoughts on this product or this vendor? You talk to a lot of vendors. You've been in the industry a long time too.
So I think they're great. I've actually worked with them, doing their annuity leads, their IUL leads. I've been working with them for a while. I hadn't worked with them because I stopped buying leads a few years ago. But before that, I used them exclusively for a while, and I have a good relationship with them. Now, this program, they did not have the inbound leads when I started with them, but I knew about them and I heard nothing but positive reviews about it, specifically the inbound, the live transfers. Only because, so there's a mix of final expense, like Mario was saying, and term, any type of term, mortgage protection or regular term, whatever the client wants, basically. But the best thing about this, you guys, is that these type of contracts pay out the next day. So if you sell a final expense, if you sell a mortgage protection, simple products like this, you get paid out immediately. So if you're making anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 or more, possibly, if you're out on the phone all day getting live transfers, you can have a lot of money in your pocket in 1 week. Then you won't have to worry about the expense the next week for the next batch of leads. And you'll start your savings, and then we can move forward to advanced markets and spend big money on bigger products. So, I think it's a win-win for everybody. They're making money with us and we're making money with them, just because if the product pays out fast, you don't have to wait. Like Mario was saying with, advanced markets, it takes a little bit longer for those cases to be approved and pay out. But these pay out immediately. So I think it's a great way to start your business. So
yeah, I completely forgot about that, Maritza. Yeah, a lot of these vendors or these carriers, they pay out in 24 hours.
Yeah.
24 to 48 hours, or the worst you wait is until Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's huge.
Yeah, you won't wait more than a week to get paid out. So that's a big deal for me. When I purchase anything for my business, I want to make sure I see a return immediately. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So guys, are there any questions? Let's see, there's a chat in here. Oh, that's his information. So he put his information in the chat. I'm gonna type this up and put this, where can I put this? I'll put it on a document and then I'm gonna put it on the Google Drive. Okay, so you guys should all have access to the Google Drive, but he wrote it all up. There's some testimonials here, which are pretty cool. I've been watching. And it says here, one of their clients did 27,000 in their first 2 weeks on the outbound dialer. And there's a testimony there as well. So that's it, guys. Don't want to keep you long. I really believe in this product. I believe that this is going to be the X factor for a lot of you guys. It's simple. You don't have to spend a lot of money creating anything. It's turnkey. You just sit in it, turn it to key, and push the gas, right? And there's training, there's scripts, there's everything, a proven system, which is really what I like. Simple, simple, simple. So anything else, guys, before we close? All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone. Good night.